This Tennessee History for Kids video is sponsored by the Memorial Foundation, bringing alive the history of the volunteer state.
Okay, this is History Bill with Tennessee History for Kids, and you're not going to believe this. I woke up today and looked at my calendar, and it says July of 1925. I don't know what's happened, but since it is July of 1925, I came down to Dayton, Tennessee, in the southeast part of the state, and you can probably guess, I came down because I wanted to see some of this Scopes trial. This is the trial where there's a high school teacher named John Scopes, and he got in trouble for teaching evolution, which of course the legislature just a few months ago said you can't do. And this is a big trial. It's kind of a zoo around here. There's food being sold. There's people singing. There's preachers preaching on the street corners. And there's even a monkey. I'm telling you, there's even a monkey around here. But the main thing I want to see if I can do is get inside the courtroom with this camera, and I'm going to see if I can find some of the attorneys involved, especially Mr. William Jennings Bryan. By the way, the trial is going to take place in this building. This is the Ray County Courthouse. Isn't this incredible? Well, let me see if I can find Mr. Bryan. Hold on a second. To my left here is Mr. John Scopes, who is a teacher here in Ray County, and this is the famous Mr. Clarence Darrow, who is an attorney from up north, some northern city. What city is that?
That would be Chicago.
Chicago. What's on trial here? Is Mr. Scopes on trial, or is Mr. Darwin on trial?
Well, actually, they have put Mr. Scopes on trial in order to, what I feel is to be able to create a science versus religion case.
Well, with us now is one of the attorneys in this very interesting case. I'm sure all of you recognize William Jennings Bryan, who of course has run for president numerous times. Three times. Do you think you have a good chance of winning the case today, or do you think it's going to be a tough case?
No, I think we have a very good chance of winning. I think we have very clear evidence that Mr. Scopes violated the law by his own admission, and the law says don't teach. He said I taught, therefore he must be guilty.
Well, why do you think Mr. Scopes doesn't have the right to teach evolution if that's something that he believes is scientifically a valid theory?
Because the law in the state of Tennessee says he cannot do it.
Well, thank you very much, and good luck today.
Thank you.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, good luck, Mr. Scopes.
Thank you, sir.
The trial lasted for several days. Clarence Darrow argued that the law was unjust.
If today you can take a thing like evolution and make it a crime to teach it in the public schools, tomorrow you can make it a crime to teach it in the private schools. Next year you can make it a crime to teach it in the church. At the next session you can ban books and newspapers. Soon you will set Catholic against Protestant and Protestant against Protestant and try and voice your own religion on the minds of man. After a while, Your Honor, it is the setting of man against man and creed against creed until with flying banners and beating drums, we're marching backward to the glorious ages of the 16th century.
Bryan, meanwhile, made fun of the theory of evolution and claimed that the Tennessee legislature was perfectly within its right to ban its teaching in public schools.
Tell me that parents of this day have not any right to say that this doctrine shall not be taught to their children, shall not be taken down from the high plane upon which God put man? Well, my friends, if they believe it, they can go back and scoff at the religion of their parents. And parents have a right to say that no teacher paid with their money shall rob their children of their faith in God and send them back skeptical. Infidels, agnostics, or atheists.
Oddly enough, there wasn't much arguing about whether Scopes had actually tried to teach evolution or not. His defense team conceded that he had. Their entire case seemed to be based on proving that Scopes violated an unjust law. Then, on Friday, July 17th, it was so crowded in the courtroom that the judge moved the trial to a stage set up just outside the courthouse. And it was here that something very strange took place. Darrow called Bryan as a witness. The two men spent quite a while debating the merits of the Bible and of evolution, and things did get a little testy.
The purpose is to ridicule everybody who believes in the Bible. And I am perfectly willing that the world shall know that the only purpose these gentlemen have is to criticize every Christian who believes in the Bible.
The purpose is to prevent bigots and ignoramuses from controlling the education of the United States. You know it, and that's all.
I am simply trying to protect the Word of God from the greatest atheist or agnostic in the United States.
Then, on Tuesday, July 21st, the verdict was announced.
Mr. Foreman, would you tell us whether you have reached a verdict?
We have.
How do you find?
We find the defendant, Mr. Scopes, guilty.
Did you fix the fine?
We did not.
So you leave it to the court?
We do.
Mr. Scopes, the jury has found you guilty, and the court has fixed your fine at $100, which I now impose upon you. Mr. Scopes, do you have anything that you would like to say, sir?
Your Honor, I feel as though I've been convicted of violating an unjust law. I will continue in the future, as I have in the past, to oppose this law in any way that I can. Any other action would be a violation of my view of academic freedom. That is, to teach the truth that is guaranteed in our Constitution of personal and religious freedom.
And after the trial, I caught up with Darrow and Scopes. So after 2 weeks of this, we just simply decided to go ahead and plead guilty.
Plead guilty, take him to the appellate court, see what we can do about the law there.
Does Mr. Scopes, does he go to prison?
No, not at all. He's got a $100 fine.
Did this case go about the way you expected? What was surprising to you?
Well, the surprise was that it lasted 8 days. The trial, in fact, should have been 8 minutes long. The law says do not teach evolution. He taught evolution. It seemed to me to have been an open and shut case. But it went on 8 days, and it became very obvious that they were trying the law and not the case.
So we'll see you at the Supreme Court.
We will, in fact.
All right, well, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.